Hello everybody. I see that everybody got here early. Yeah, I don't have my tree up either because besides other reasons, Finnegan never had a tree up since I got him. I mean, I got him on the 27th of December in 2019, and I took the tree down before he was brought over because I didn't think that a 3-month-old kitten and a Christmas tree would be a good match. The other two, probably they miss it. Not that they can remember, I don't know, but both Connor and Seamus love the tree. I mean, they would be just sitting in front of it, looking at it adoringly. But one thing I did years and years ago when I still had my dogs is that I replaced all the ornaments with plastic ones, no glass ornaments, because I had a very big dog, and whenever he would get by the tree and he would wag his tail, those ornaments would go flying in the wall. So that's a good thing that you have to think about. So let me say hi to everybody. Hi Elaine, I'm so glad you made it. Hi Catherine, hi Sharon, hi Darla, hi Jordan, hi Carlene, hi Francis, hi Sonia, I'm glad you made it. So the thing that we can always do with polymer clay is to hi Sonia, the other Sonia. Hi, Emilia. The thing with the gingerbread, the gingerbread stuff looks awesome in a tree, but obviously for various reasons, pets and kids and other things, it's not a good idea to actually put gingerbread stuff. So one thing that we can do is to make fake gingerbread decorations using polymer clay. And to give you a little bit of a tip, you can also, if you want to add a little bit to the smell, you can also add, well, one of my professional degrees is linguist, and I speak several languages, so it's not hard to figure out. Milia would be from, and correct me if I'm mistaken, but with that type of spelling and that name is specific to the former Yugoslavia area. So that would be west of Bulgaria. So yeah, okay, so what you need, number one, what you need is mud clay. And this is awesome because that's a way to use your mud clay creatively, and you can do all kinds of stuff. And hi Colleen. And you put it to good use, right? So what you need to do, and I interrupted myself. One thing that you can do on the polymer clay when you do it, and if you want to add a little bit of more Christmassy flavor, you can actually mix in the polymer clay some ground cinnamon, some ground nutmeg, even some ground allspice, because that will make a little bit of fragrance and would add to the whole Christmassy theme. And another thing that you can add, but just a little bit, just a little bit, it would be peppermint oil, and that is awesome. Hi Ramona. Now, if, depending on how your mud clay is, because we all know it's various hues of brown, if you want to make it more ochre, You add a little bit of yellow and a pinch of red. You can always change the color of your mud clay. I'm not going to do that because I'm quite happy with the way mine looks like. But one thing that you can use, and I think I do have some in my influencer store. Give me just a minute. There are all kinds, and depends on, of course, on how big you want to make your ornaments. I'm not going to make them very big, because to be honest, one thing that I want to do for future years is to get a small tree, one of those 2-foot long trees. So let me see if I have that in my influencer store, because there are some sets that are more like for cookies, and you can use those. So let me see, that would be this one. They are minis, baby, but you can find different ones as well. But there's all kinds of specialty cutters, and what I'm going to use will be much simpler today. It's going to be just the heart, the flower, and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and do it. Number one, what you need to be aware of is that you shouldn't, this is on the thickest setting on my pasta machine, which is a makings that I'm using the makings for regular clay and the Atlas for translucents. But you cannot really use it on the thickest clay, setting. It's still too thin. So what I suggest is that you double it. So just stack. And one other thing that would be good to do, and be careful when you stack, make sure you don't trap air in there. And the other thing that you want to do is, I have so many projects I'm working on, it's not even funny. Hi Karen, hi Adelaide, hi Kathy. Who is this one? Okay, so get some cling wrap to have more rounded edges, and whenever you do the cling wrap, make sure that you don't have any wrinkles. Yeah, one thing that I wanted to talk about with you guys is, oh my God, I don't know what is the forecast for where you live, but can you read what's going on the top of the screen, Kathy? Because that tells you. I don't know what the weather forecast is for where you are, but for here, we are expecting for Christmas lows in the lower single digits, and that scares me. That absolutely scares me. So okay, I'm gonna grab a heart, then I'm gonna do a flower, so if you get cookie cutters, you know that there are some cookie cutters that are like gingerbread men. I do have some, but they are humongous, and I don't want to really work that big. Alrighty. So I got this, and of course I cut deep enough that I have plastic on my cut decorations, which I'm gonna have to get it up. Yeah, here they only talk about maybe between 1 and 2 inches and only locally. What I am glad about though is that there's no freezing rain forecasted, because that's my biggest fear. Nevertheless, it's still okay. I found it. Nevertheless, that kind of temperature, yeah, our wind is supposed to be in the minus also. Let me show you actually. There you go. This is my forecast. And it starts Wednesday night practically. The low is 19, then Thursday high is 20. Thursday night 2. Friday, so Saturday is going to be 26 degrees. So yeah, not pleasant at all. Okay, so let me gently remove the plastic here. Now for the next thing, it depends on how comfortable you are with making strings. If you use my method and got good results and can go with it, go ahead. If not, just use your extruder. And somebody asked me, can I only use an acrylic block? Because I'm a little strapped and I cannot really use that. Well, something that you can use a lot for many things. Hi Cherry. Yeah, right now I am. I'm still a little bit getting used to the new dosage of the thyroid medication, and I already know what is wrong with it. Never mind that. So one thing that you can use instead of the acrylic block, and I absolutely advise you to do that, go to your local home improvement store, be it Ace, be it Lowe's, be it Home Depot or whatever. But look in the tiles and you will find cheap small tiles, and just grab those. So a tile about this size should be no more expensive than $1.50, and you can also use it for baking. So and like another thing, and I know that when I bought this, I actually streamed live when I was in Lowe's, but like this beautiful big, because it's like, I think it's 24 by 48 inches tile that I have, is actually a piece of marble tile for the floors, and I paid $7 something for it, and all the other mats and working things that you can find out there, they are all over $20. So yeah, it doesn't have a grid, but I usually don't need a grid. So, and it's natural marble, doesn't really stain, cleans very good, so doesn't reflect, doesn't glare either. So it's awesome. You can get yourself one of these. Okay, my next thing will be to grab, and whatever, because I'm sure that all of you have this kind of stuff. If you have one of these sponges that you can get at the dollar store for $1 for several of them, use this. If you don't, then use whatever towel like thing you have around the house, and you'll see the difference, because we need to do the aspect of the baked gingerbread So on one of these I'm going to use my sponge. And this always comes out because obviously when you're baking there are little microscopic air bubbles that come out of the dough. Man, I didn't eat gingerbread in a long time. I don't like the one that's sold in the stores at all. I prefer the homemade one that requires a lot of honey, and me with my low carb diet, I cannot do that. And yeah, and then talking about the temperatures, the wind chills will be like -15, -25, stuff like that. It's horrible. I can only be super upset. So this is how it looks like with the sponge. This is how it looks like with the yes, and that's one of the best things to do for your work table. And you can get these. I don't have any of the baking tiles. You can also get, I have those, oh god, I think they are like 6x4 or 7x4 tiles that are also on $1 or under $1 that I use for baking stuff, and you've seen those in my videos. Okay, now if you want to add anything else, you can. And I'm going to make some with added something else and some with not adding something else. So let me grab a piece of wax paper real quick because I'm gonna use chalk pastels. And you know, I don't want to be sprinkling it all over the place. Okay. So now think about the fact that I've had these for at least 10 years. At least 10 years. And this is, some of them are more used, of course, than others, but they last a long time. And same goes with the waxes and the mica powders. Yeah, the only thing that you need to be careful if you buy the ones for baking, make sure you get the glass ones or the actual marble ones, not the ceramic ones, because the ceramic ones are slightly raised at the edges. So if you have something that needs to be baked flat, it might get slightly warped. But especially, I have like, I don't know, 10 pieces of tile. A couple of them are ceramic, but the other ones are glass. And especially when I need something very flat, remember I showed you before, you put tile, piece of wax paper, the piece you want baked, another piece of wax paper, and another tile on top of it, so it would bake perfectly flat. Alright, now I got my brush here. Yeah, the only thing that I don't like is, of course, I got some of those little rubber feet and I attached them underneath this, so it would be much easier to lift. But because of that, of course, my my things, when I put them on the side, have the tendency to slide under, so it's a pain to get them up. So I could go with this or with this. Which of them do I want? Let me go with this one, not with the cinnamon, because this is actually ginger color. So yeah, you can find sometimes tiles even at the Goodwill store. There's all kinds of things. So I'm just giving it a little bit more baked goods look. And it doesn't have to be perfectly uniform. You can go with it, but I'm gonna make some with and some without. So I'm gonna leave the heart for without. Put this back where it belongs, because you know my main thing is that if I don't put stuff back where it belongs, I'm prone to topple it or spill it or whatever right away. And then the next thing is that I want to remove the extra, because I'm gonna put raw clay on top of it, and as you know, raw clay and powder don't really mix well. So I'm going to gently remove the extra on top. It's going still to give it a good gingerbread coloring. And there we go. And then for the second part, that's going to be a little bit of one thing that you can do, actually. Yeah, that's what I said. You can mix some ground cinnamon or ground nutmeg or ground allspice in the polymer clay very easily. Or minute amounts of essential oils like peppermint. You can use pine tree oil or cinnamon oil or stuff, but just a drop, not more, because after that it starts curdling the clay. But otherwise it works just fine. Another thing that you can do, you can use white, and we're gonna do that to show you the other variant, but this one we're gonna do with strings. Okay, I was looking for my white and they're like, where did it go? So, hi Sandra. And don't forget, if you are not comfortable with and you cannot do the strings properly with my method, go ahead and use your extruder. It's just fine. Give it one or two. And then again, for people who don't know my perfect strings method, just first make a bead, and then you need to roll it until you don't see any more fold lines. Like, let me see if you can see this. I'm trying to shade it. There's a fold line, and you just do this until you don't see any more fold lines. And then you start rolling it. Don't be very careful with the ends, because they have the tendency to split. But then you hold on one side, then place your acrylic block like this, and then gently just roll from side to side while pulling. until you get it of the length and thickness you need. It's more like the thickness. Hi Sandra, hi Carla. And you don't want to go too thin, because honestly, unless somebody is a super duper cookie decorator, cannot make super thin sugar syrup paste slash paste decorations. Okay, and you simply start placing it. And you what you need to keep in mind is that this is supposed to look like sugar paste. Yes, so don't make it too precise. You know how I don't know if you noticed, but my perfectionism was rearing its ugly head. When I got here, I had a tendency to cut diagonally and then put like that, but no, it's not a good thing to do. Hi Kanchana. That's okay, no worries. And then you can do whatever you want. You can even do a small, if you have little flowers, cuts. Or you can do a snowflake. This is too big. Too big. It's going to look like a snowflake, I promise. I realized that I was putting only on one side. And again, you don't have to be absolutely super perfect. It's going to work no matter what, and it's going to look pretty. Now let's go to one of the other ones. And one thing I can do here, just a second, let me grab the one thing that you can do if you have a set. I'm going to place one here, and then the other one has to be very perfectly. I think I'm a little too, it's too much light, isn't it? Let me turn the exposure down a little bit. There we go. Much better. And then when you place the second one, make sure that you place it pretty much in the very middle, which is very hard for me to do right now, obviously. But I think I got it, because I have to rely on the camera. I cannot look from straight above. And then we can go with just a tiny blob if you have a tiny cutter. And I'm gonna reuse this. Actually, I'm gonna put this here, and then I'm gonna make a blob in the middle here. So these are very easy things to make, right? I'm making a few bubbles that are also going to be flattened. So I need to make 6. So what is everybody making for Christmas? What goodies are you making? I'm gonna go Tuesday to do my last grocery shopping of the year. And I'm not yet sure what I'm going to make. I was thinking to a mess, huh? I was thinking of making my I have made up. I think I told you before, my grandpa was a cordon bleu chef, and I learned a lot of cooking from him. And I can, but I mean, it's not special. A lot of people can make their own recipes, but when I started doing the keto diet, there's a lot of stuff that, because that was 8 years ago. Yeah, 8 years ago. And I know that now you can find a whole bunch of keto stuff in the stores, but back in 2014 there wasn't. And I made up a lot of my cooking. I even have started to publish some of them. But anyway, I have managed to make up a low-carb tiramisu cake. So I am pondering if I should go for that. But I'm glad that for right now there is no no change in the barometer yet. It's still 30 something. The other thing that I was telling you about, and we had that, when did we have it? Yeah, when I did the winter holidays jewelry using silk screens, I showed you then. Let me see. I showed you then how to make various winter stuff using winter themed jewelry using silk screens. See, this is one of those glass tiles that I got from, and I also have the mirror tiles that I bought off of Amazon. Let me get more to the finished product. So you can do all kinds of stuff, only instead of doing the stuff that I showed there, because I was thinking, why repeat myself? I'm not going to repeat myself. Yeah, everybody's kind of supposed to. Yes, tiramisu can be low carb, it cannot be low fat, pretty much. I'll have to look for the recipes, but not to repeat myself. You can use, if you go back and look at that, let me post the link in case you didn't watch it. You can use exactly that, but use as a background clay the mud clay and use white acrylic with the silk screen. Okay, so let me see what I actually use, but of course you can use a baking tray. So I didn't go for the lady fingers. What I did, because the taste is almost everything, right? I used the waffle maker for the and I made layers, and it was a dough made with butter, eggs, almond flour, and cream cheese. But I would have to look again for the, I don't have that link on my computer because I know I posted it on the Fat Secret website. And then of course I made homemade whipped cream, and I added a pinch of instant coffee and a pinch of rum essence that you can find in the, you know, where you find the vanilla and the almond and stuff, and a pinch of butterscotch essence. Now that was a pain to find, but I found it. And then simply I also had some unsweetened baking chocolate. So I simply put, you know, a layer of that almond flour waffle, then I frosted it with whipped cream, and then another layer and another whipped cream, and then I carefully did the sides, and then I put some grated chocolate on top. But it came up beautifully. Oh, and not to forget, I also syruped the layers, so that waffle-like thing. I made water with, obviously, with what was it? Erythritol. So not sugar, erythritol. You can use stevia or Splenda, but just remember that stevia and Splenda still have some calories, while sugar alcohols don't. I used that with, no, it wasn't water, it was coffee. Coffee with a lot of erythritol, a pinch of instant coffee, and some rum essence. And that's why those layers were very moist, So whenever you would get some, you didn't need anything else. It was just fabulous, fabulous. But I promise you, I'm gonna look on my Fat Secret account and in my cookbook there, and get it. Maybe I should start posting more. I had started at that time a channel, but I think I only posted like 2 recipes. It was before I started the Kalyana channel. Because after that I started the Kalyana channel and I did not give me just I cannot get on that one. Let me filter by channel. I cannot get on that channel because obviously I am logged in on this channel, so and now there's a lot of channels like that, but let me try. It's not K, it's L. Okay, there we go. This is the channel, but yeah, only two videos, but you can look at it. Maybe if I make it, I'll record how I'm making it. Yeah. And Aaron Tuttle is posted a live, and he doesn't. That's a meteorologist, weatherman that we have here in Oklahoma, who used to work for one of the local news channels, and then he had some misunderstandings with them because he didn't approve of trying to hype everything just to get more views. So he went, and now he works for the FAA, and he has his own weather channel on YouTube and Facebook, but he only deals with Oklahoma weather. So, but anyway, he went live and he talked about the minus wind chill. Anyway, what can you do? What else can you do? I don't think that this is very, and it might not look like a lot of stuff, but that's the whole idea. You can do whatever you want. Let me remove this. I'm not very happy with it. You can do whatever you want practically and use all kinds of shortcuts. Let me see if I find my, because I know I had a little, who knows where it's gonna go. I'm not sure if it's gonna go very good, but I can always try, because this is a resin mold, and remember, the resin molds are kind of soft and they don't do very good with clay. Try a different thing. Oh, this is smaller. I didn't notice. I need the small one to put right in the middle there. And I'm still not very sure what I'm going to do for presents for Christmas. There's not a lot of people I still have around with my disability and the pandemic and all that, it's pretty much my neighbors. There we go. There we go. Now he got the thing. Yeah, then that's the problem. Whenever you see soft, whenever don't buy resin molds and sugar paste molds for polymer clay. And I know that I've shown this before many times, because the resin and sugar paste clays molds are too soft, and they give. Let me show you again that. What's my best example for that? So this is my best example for, even if some people do sell these, I do have molds. I do have molds. Hold on, let's look. And it's right there. So if you go, I know it's hard to find because I have so many lists there, but see, it's right here, molds for polymer clay. And should be towards the end, because I put the holiday stuff towards the end. It might be here, or it might be, no, there you go. This is it. This is a snowflake thing, but there's also in resins if you want that. And sometimes you don't see resin molds. Sometimes you just don't find stuff that would be for polymer clay, so you have to take the chance. So I usually stuff that is seasonal, you'll find it at the very end of the list. But there you go. This is stuff for resin. And remember, we did this during one live. We definitely did this. So, oh, I didn't. Okay, so resin molds. I was again showing you stuff without showing you stuff. Resin molds, and it is all the way to the end. So as I said, seasonal stuff is usually at the end. Like you see, it's Easter and Halloween and winter, and the same for the resin molds. Usually they are at the very end. Yeah, this is, I found recently. I'm thinking of getting one. So anyway, the stuff that I was talking about. So generally speaking, the stuff for sugar craft, you'll find it is in a very bright pink or bright blue. The stuff that's for polymer clay will be a little bit softer and lighter, because that's the quality of the rubber used for the mold, and that's the whole deal. So you see how much thicker this one is, and this I bought from Etsy, and it was advertised as a polymer clay one, but it doesn't work for polymer clay good because it's too squishy. It works fine for resin. But look at what happens if I try to fold this one, kinda, sorta, but I have to really force it to do anything. And yeah, it's all, I use this so much and there's all kinds of little nicks. But if I try to fold this one, there you go. So what happens when you press the polymer clay in here, the mold starts giving, and it even gives on the sides and stuff, so you will not get a perfect mold of it. That is the biggest problem. And again, this one is for sugar craft and resin, and you can see it's while another example. So this is the best for resin, right? I still used it. If you remember, I did the jewelry box because I couldn't find any other stuff, but I had to make my polymer clay very, 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 very soft. Well, this one is, if I'm not mistaken, is a Premo marketing. Let me get my eyeglasses. Yes, it's a Premo marketing, and is for clay. So you can see this one can be, but you have to apply a lot of pressure. So that is the biggest thing. The soft ones, though, you can use them, some of them, and make sure that you check on the description, and if you buy them from Amazon, in the questions asked by customers, if they are heat resistant, because some of them, especially like, you know, the gray ones that Scalpy has, those are special for liquid clay, and some of them can be used for liquid clay. If you buy stuff from Cool Tools, be aware that only the blue ones have heat resistance. So let me try and get on. Okay, so not Amazon. And it's Cool Tools US. Okay. And why the Cool Tools ones are the best? Because they are for essentially for metal clay, precious metal clay. So let's go to textures. And the delicate elements are absolutely gorgeous. So these ones, the beige ones and the gray ones, they are not heat resistant. But there are the let me see, is it this one? No. And there are some that are blue, and the ones that are blue are the heat resistant one. Actually, I have one here. Let me show you. So I got this one that is heat resistant. I got it to do something. I'm not yet sure what I'm going to do with it, but I really, really loved it. So whenever you see something like this, know that it is a heat resistant one, and you can see how gorgeous it looks. Anyway, I am not sure that I'm going to be on unless I'm gonna put a poll up on the community tab, because next Sunday it's Christmas. So I don't think there will be a lot of people who would want to be with me here. But I'm gonna put a poll, and if there's enough people who want to meet at noon, do some stuff and talk and celebrate. And I promise I will be posting, I'll be looking for my tiramisu exact recipe, and I will be posting it on the community tab. Okay, I hope you all survived the cold apocalypse coming and the freezing Christmas, and I don't even dare to think how much the heating bill is going to be. But try and make a few of these, and they also work for keychains. They work for fridge magnets, obviously, and all kinds of other stuff. So I hope you try it and make a few to put in your tree. And remember, you can always make some ground cinnamon, ground nutmeg, ground allspice, and they are going to also smell nice. Thank you. Don't forget to thumbs up, and we'll see what we are going to do. I'll probably just show up just to tell everybody Merry Christmas, but I'll put a poll so I can know if I should get prepared for a full 1 hour or we're gonna do just like a half an hour chat. Okay? Thank you so much, and you have a great week, and stay warm. Thank you.